Thanks to you, Bill and Christine, for yielding this pulpit for a few moments to me to tell you about something that's very meaningful in my life. And I assure you that the parallelism between what I'm about to say and what Christine says in a few minutes is purely accidental and incidental, but we're in church, so maybe providential. I'm here to talk about Bottom Line Chicago. Bottom Line Chicago has been a beneficiary of an outreach grant for the last 3 years. And Bottom Line Chicago is a college access and completion charity in Chicago that is helping some of the most marginalized students in the Chicago public schools achieve their dream of a college degree and a job that requires a college degree. Let me tell you a story to illustrate the kind of student that we support. A typical student for us may be sitting in Benito Juarez High School, a Chicago public school in the little village, back of the yards neighborhood. Most of the students in that school are from families who have immigrated here from Mexico and whose parents have not attended college. So if you're sitting in a seat in Benito Juarez High School as a freshman, you have about a 36% chance of getting a college degree 6 years after college graduation. And that's a challenge because new job creation in Chicago is happening, but 66% of the new jobs in Chicago require a college degree. And that's where we come in. In the CPS schools, if you sign up, you might get a half an hour of college counseling in your college attempt to attend college and apply. That's probably not sufficient, particularly if you haven't had anybody in your family who's attended college. Bottom Line provides one-on-one counseling to students like this to get them into college, and then this is the magic. We stick with them through college because one of the biggest problems that low-income first-generation college students face is staying in college. We help them with everything in their lives that comes up during their college career. Sneaky parenting is what one of my board members calls it. We help them with choosing their classes, with the challenges of life, and with thinking about a career so that they can achieve their dreams and their goals. We serve about 1,500 students in Chicago. It's about $1,500 per student as an incremental cost, and so right now one of our only constraints on helping our waiting list of students is simply finding the resources in order to help them. We also have, during COVID, particularly reached out to our students who've really struggled in this environment. As many of us know, COVID has a disproportionate impact on families, and for those who have the most need, it has impacted them the most. So we set up something called the Go Far Fund to help our students and their families get through the COVID experience. It's somewhat challenging when you don't have a roof over your head or food in your house to be able to commit to your studies and your dream of college. And so through little micro grants, through that fund, we've been able to help people in their moment of most immediate need, which is in keeping with some of the principles of the outreach gifts that this church provides. So we've had students who haven't had toothpaste who've requested a toothpaste grant. We had a student who was dislocated from their house request bedding because they didn't have any bedding, and when you can't get a good night's sleep, it's hard to study. These things just break your heart. You want to fund them yourself, and these families have nowhere else to turn. Their immediate network of family and friends are struggling with exactly the same kinds of economic issues that they are. So I'm very proud of this organization. I'm proud that our church is able to support it. I'm proud of all the work this church does through outreach. As a former treasurer of this church, I can tell you that the church faithfully gives 10% of our budget each year to outreach to help those most marginalized. Bottom line is very important to me because of my story. My dad was a low-income first-generation college student. His grandparents had immigrated from Holland. His parents had sixth-grade educations. His brother had an eighth-grade education, and the expectation was he would just work on the family farm like all of his other siblings and his parents and grandparents. But he had other dreams. He wanted to be a teacher. And so after trying college and it didn't go well, he went to the Korean conflict, came back on the GI Bill, and completed many advanced degrees and set our family on a different path. I have completed college, and my children are both on the way to doing the same and becoming lifelong learners, which is what education can do. So it's through work, through Bottom Line, other organizations like Bottom Line, and benefactors like Kenilworth Union Church that make this possible. Thank you very much.